Hey everybody, welcome back to Vegas Tips and Tricks. It is August 10th, 2019, and today we're going to talk about how to get your group on in Las Vegas, not sponsored. Speaking of Las Vegas groups, got a couple of quick notes to pass along before we get into the meat of the discussion. First of all, I want to thank, the guys at the Vegas Club. You can check out the Vegas Club Facebook group. A lot of great people, a lot of folks from the UK, but not exclusively by any means. Last week they were kind enough to lampoon this broadcast. And while Matt Moss will never truly be a rare, he certainly got the spirit of my unique style. So thanks Matt, thanks to all the guys at Vegas Club for your support. Speaking of Facebook groups, our Facebook group has surpassed 300 members this week. I'm really excited about that. I've been getting multiple 2, 3, 4 requests a day to join the group. That's really exciting. We're also getting people posting besides me, which is nice. We've had several posts this week with the members of the group helping other members of the group, and that's what I want it to be. So I really appreciate everybody that's joined the Facebook group. It's been fun this week, and I hope we should just continue to grow. So if you're interested, you can find a link in the notes below. Many members of that Facebook group and of other Facebook groups interested in Las Vegas, we are preparing for next month's big Vegas Summit 2 at the Beer House in the park next to New York, by Park MGM there. My friend Vegas Dave tells me that this is practically a standing room only event. If more people decide to come, we may have to move into the T-Mobile Arena, or perhaps the Park Theater, or perhaps not. But it does sound like we're going to have a lot of people there, including a lot of other Vegas vloggers and Vegas enthusiasts. So if you're going to be in town September 17th, and you'd like to join us, please feel free to do so. If you need more details, you can hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, it should be a good time. Much libations consumed, and it's a fun place. So, getting your group on in Las Vegas. Okay. When you start taking a large group of people to Las Vegas, 8, 10, 12 people, you're just not sure what you're going to get. We've all seen the movies where things inevitably go very, very wrong, but in the end, it's a happy ending, usually. It can be that way in real life. Because until you've traveled with your friends, you're not quite sure who they are. People reveal a lot about themselves by, the way they behave when they travel. You think you know someone, you don't. If you stay in a hotel room with someone for several days, you'll find out things about them you didn't want to know. Not necessarily bad things, just things that are very different from what you have come to expect. Inevitably, on one of these trips, there will be someone who very early on is enthusiastic but gambles away all their money and spends the rest of their trip hiding in their hotel room or chiseling a few dollars here and there from their friends. There will inevitably be somebody else who just can't lose. Of course, those two aren't going to get along at all. There will be people that don't want to spend any money. We're very cheap. There will be people that want to go to the finest restaurants and the biggest shows and the best attractions. Not everybody's going to get along. The logistics of having 8 to 12 people get to be a bit difficult. It's going to be hard to find a restaurant to accommodate all of you at one table at one time. Going to a show, unless you book well in advance, it may be hard to find tickets all together. Even transportation becomes difficult. You can't fit 12 people in a taxi cab, maybe a limo. That being said, if you do have a lot of people like that, maybe you can afford to rent a limo. Comes out to a very small amount per person in that situation. Hey, it may pay if you decide to go to a club to get bottle service because there's so many of you. But whatever you do, don't overplan. I say this about Vegas vacations, period. But I think it's particularly important when you're dealing with a diverse group of people. I suggest, you know your group better than I do, maybe. But I suggest no more than 2 sort of required activities a day. And by required, I don't really mean required. If somebody just doesn't show up or just disappears for the whole trip and then shows up at the airport dressed in clothes he didn't own before, I guarantee you that guy, and it's probably a guy, is going to have some great stories. So just enjoy the aftermath. But inevitably some people won't want to do it. Nothing should be required. If you do that, then there's just a lot of hurt feelings. But I would say, again, plan no more than a couple full group activities. One good thing, a meal. Or maybe you meet up at a bar and you have some appetizers and some drinks and share some time together. And then maybe you have a sort of planned activity, whether you're going to go to Fremont Street that night. Maybe you're going to go to a show. Maybe you're going to go up in the stratosphere and ride the rides. Again, don't overplan. Because when you have too many different activities, all you're doing all the time is trying to coordinate people and move people around and get them where you want to go. And it's not very much fun, whether you're the person trying to coordinate or the people who are being herded around. As a result, I think it's a good idea for everybody to stay in a similar area. You don't necessarily have to be in the same hotel, although that's nice because then you really can coordinate and move about easily. But inevitably some people, if you say, hey, we're going to stay at the Bellagio, somebody's going to say, I can't afford the Bellagio. Well, maybe they can afford Bally's or Flamingo. They're close by. And sometimes it's nice to visit people at different hotels. You have a different environment. Maybe you spend some time in different places, but try to stay in a concentrated area. I recommend Center Strip because you're close to most things and not too far away from anything. But if you know that the things that y'all are going to be doing are down on the south end of the Strip, then that's fine. Or if things you're going to be doing are downtown, that's fine too. But try to stay together. Otherwise, it's just a nightmare. And again, it's not fun anymore. So the biggest thing with group travel, though, I think is to be flexible. Again, some people are not going to show up when you expect them to. And inevitably, there'll be couples or singles or groups of 2, 3, 4 people who may drift off and maybe they're the ones who stay up all night gambling, or there'll be people that just want to hang out at the pool all day. Let them. It's not your vacation just because it's your group. It's all of their vacations. And while you want to spend time together and enjoy each other's company, at the same time you want to give people the flexibility to enjoy what they enjoy, whether it's fun in the sun, a few too many cocktails, or just a few hours at the craps table. One thing that I do want to mention before I go is a lot of times when people have large groups, they'll ask questions, hey, where can we find like a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom suite or something? And they exist. They tend to be very expensive and may provide too much togetherness. I guess they have like the Airbnbs and stuff. You might be able to rent a whole house. Maybe that's a good solution for you. But then you're not probably going to be very close to the Strip. Better to just get your own individual rooms. In most hotels, you have adjoining rooms, and so have 2 bedrooms. Hey, even 3. Open up the doors. Now you have a huge suite. Close the doors. Now you have some privacy and some time to yourself. Do you have any tips for Vegas group travel? I'm sure I missed some things. And so if you do, put them in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and cut it short for today. We'll be back again next week with more Vegas tips. Till next time, I hope you have a great and lucky week, and we will see you soon.